Just I guess the progress from your post players from the beginning of the year to now. Just what's the biggest thing you're seeing?
Well, I think it's the experience. We talked about having talent and maybe the inexperience that we had there, but now because of all the games that we've played and the different styles and the different competition, now we have experience and they understand what we need and what we're looking for on the offensive and defensive end.
Courtney's efficiency this year, just how impressed are you with, she's shooting 50%, about 50% from three-point range, scoring 16 points a game. Those are pretty impressive numbers for a guard, right?
Yeah. Well, she is our scorer. She wants to be one of the best three-point shooters. So she's really worked on that, worked on trying to get her shot off over taller players, and she has, creating kind of a side dribble and doing more pull-up jump shots, which she hasn't done before. So, she's just expanded her game in a very good way.
That was one thing you wanted to see from her after the Louisville game in particular, right, where she struggled to do those sorts of things against bigger, more physical defenders?
Yeah, and I think she's done a better job of just not, when she comes off of screen, she's got better timing, she's got to change of speed, so I mean, that's part of developing as they play. And I think she's, grown in that area. I mean, I feel that hopefully we have, 9 to hopefully about 14 or 15 games left, but you never know. But, you want to keep growing as a team, and each individual has to get better. And I think, her efficiency is, a big key, rather than having to take so many shots. She's being very efficient with her shots.
She hasn't pressed at all when, like the other day, she's helping one field goal in the first half because they're throwing a junk defense at her. But she's done a good job this year in particular of choosing her spots, right?
Well, I think when, you are being chased, you've still got to do a lot for your team. And I thought, there wasn't frustration. She defended. She got some steals. She, was able to do the other things for your team. And you have to be able to do that because that's going to happen. And it's just the respect that people have for Courtney and KK if they're going to play that junk defense.
I feel like you're starting, as a team, starting to turn the corner just a little bit in the consistency area.
Knock on wood, you hope. And I think when you have confidence, things just end up better. Confidence is in every possible profession, whether it's, in the NFL or the NBA, or it's not just, it's just confidence, period, and that just carries over. So, and if we practice well, we usually play well. And so we've been really trying to be consistent in those areas.
And coming off of a few big wins, how do you avoid the letdown?
Well, we don't talk about letdown. We know each game is very important. Right now the body, everybody's bodies obviously continue to get more tired because you're putting more minutes in and getting banged up. But, you've got to put in your work, and this league's up in the air, and I think we see that, when people are upset, on their home courts or away from home and that type of stuff.
Illinois got a big win a couple nights ago, obviously. Just what have they done pretty well here recently?
They just, they're athletes. They can get to the hole. They can get you in foul trouble early. They play that trapping defense. Rather, it doesn't look like there's 5 players out there, like 7 players because of their length, and the bottom line is you got to knock down shots. If you don't knock down shots, you're probably going to be on the losing end. Nebraska shot really well against them. Michigan State didn't. That's really what came down to it. And we've been in that game against Michigan. We couldn't throw it in the ocean, and that's kind of what happened to Michigan State.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to turn you over, and it's based on their past play. But do you feel like if you can get through that pressure, you'll get some better opportunities to score?
Yeah, I mean, if they do a full court pressure, you have more opportunities. When they sit in the half court, I think they take up more space. So we got to take advantage if they do their full court press. Usually when they get behind a lot or after a free throw, they'll totally do that. But we have to be able to knock down the short corner shots, some threes, the mid post, but making really good decisions and being good passers.
You just went through a stretch where you played a lot of games in a short period of time. Starting Monday, you get a week where you get 3 games in 6 days or something like that. Is that a good reference point for this team that you just went through that so they know how to manage themselves and as you guys move forward through next week? Yeah,
I mean, when we played those first 2 weeks, that was a lot. So it was nice to be able to manage a little bit to get back to normalcy. But, this is kind of the grind that happens now, those 3 games in shorter time, and then it spreads out, and then you can do that again. And But, you know, as long as the other teams that we're going against kind of go through the same grind, I don't have an issue with that. But those first 2 weeks for us were rough.
What has it been about the road that's brought out the best in your team recently?
I just think you just don't have distractions on the road. When we've played so many road games in the non-conference, we didn't have a lot of home games. So that's just how the schedule panned out. It's not something that I wanted, but it just worked out that way. So, hopefully we just continue to gain from that.
And you were talking about the influence that KK and Courtney have. With them getting so much attention, do you think that opens up things for the players in the post as far as scoring?
Well, it has to, and that's where, if you're going to play a junk defense, you got to have other people score for you, and I thought that's where we stepped up. Against Northwestern, we had our post really score, and they were crashing the boards. I thought Lisa Clements had one of her best games, and Camille and Whitney did great, and Tori did great, and we have to have, guards step up. But it was fantastic that we had 4 post players play really well.